Across borders, Sudan has banned all Kenyan exports in retaliation for Kenya's backing of the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) as they push to establish a parallel government. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Kenya exported goods worth 6.7 billion shillings to Sudan in the year 2023, 10 times what it imported. Sudan is also a key market for Kenya's value-added tea, and this move comes as Kenya faces growing international isolation over its stance on the RSF. However, as Olive Barrows reports, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs remains undeterred.
In response to what it's described as an act of hostility towards the people of Sudan, the Sudanese government has declared a trade war on Kenya. Sudan's Ministry of Trade and Supply has suspended the import of all products from Kenya, and they will not be allowed to pass through all ports, crossings, airports and outlets, the ministerial directive instructs. This action, Sudan's Minister of Trade, Omar Ahmed Mohamed Ali, explains in a memo, has been taken in response to Kenya's hosting of the Rapid Support Forces and its allies and the sponsorship of their activities and meetings. It has therefore justified the trade ban as an affirmation of Sudan's sovereignty and protection of its national security. An action Kenya's Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary, Korir Sing'oei, has described as, quote, a gross overreaction. His statement to Citizen TV reading, it will not deter Kenya from privileging dialogue as the only mode of resolving the Sudanese conflict, and that the war in Sudan has already cut into Kenya's exports to Sudan by almost 90%. Kenya, his statement reads, would rather a peaceful Sudan than the privilege of servicing a considerably diminished market. According to the Tea Board of Kenya, there was a 12% dip in Kenya's exports of tea to Sudan in 2024 on account of the civil war that erupted in April of 2023. Despite which, Sudan came only second to the United Kingdom in the import of Kenya's value-added tea, with a total import value of 2.3 billion shillings. Kenya's support for RSF as it moves to establish a parallel government could also cost Kenya in soft power, as the US, the UN Security Council and the African Union's Peace and Security Council, all in the last 2 weeks, cautioned against such a move. The UN Security Council expressing grave concern over the signing of a charter to establish a parallel governing authority in Sudan and reaffirming their strong commitment to the sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of Sudan, while urging all member states to refrain from external interference. The US, in supporting the UN Security Council statement, also condemned the reported pervasive conflict-related sexual violence perpetrated most extensively by the RSF and its allied militia on women and children as young as 1 year old. The AU Peace and Security Council went further to call on all AU member states not to recognize or provide support to any armed or political group toward the establishment of a parallel government or state entity in the Republic of Sudan. Olive Barrows, Citizen TV.